Good afternoon, everyone, and welcome to the 4th annual Pride Flag Ceremony. My name is David Michael. I am a Bridgewater resident and a member of Bridgewater Communities for Civil Rights, and I'm also the development manager for B, which is another a local nonprofit. And I am a proud member of the LGBTQ community. So welcome to everyone, whether you identify as LGBTQ+ or our allies. It means so much that you've joined us today. At this time, I would like to open the ceremony and invite to the podium a fellow BCCR member, Laureen Powers, who will be sharing a land acknowledgement. Laureen?
Good afternoon. Got it, David. I am a member of BCCR, as David just said, and in just a few minutes, I'll hold it, okay. I plan to read a land acknowledgement that was written by Dr. Joyce Rain Anderson at Bridgewater State University. A few years ago, the reading of land acknowledgements seemed to kind of become a thing. Obviously, it is always respectful to acknowledge the indigenous people who lived in our lands long before colonization. But Dr. Anderson also feels strongly that the main purpose of a land acknowledgement should be a call to action. Clearly, today is all about celebrating Pride, but I also need to honor Joyce Rain's initiatives. So I have two brief suggestions. One is to go online if you're interested and check out the Massachusetts Indigenous Legislative Agenda. That's a mouthful, so if you forget, just come and find me and I can jot it down for you. I noticed this morning that the website is not quite up to speed, but it does provide a list of the 5 pending pieces of legislation that are very crucial. You can also sign up at that site to receive emails regarding the ongoing process, so you can contact legislators when necessary. My other suggestion is this book, and it will be at the BCCR table if you want to take a look. It's called Becoming Kin. It was written by a Native American, and it's not a dry history book. It's very easy to follow, very interesting, and then at the end of each chapter, the author suggested action that we as allies can act on. And speaking of actions, I do need to mention that 2 years ago, it was with Dr. Anderson's assistance, along with BCCR, that we took action. And the Bridgewater Town Council, one of our members is here, more than one, today, unanimously approved a resolution changing Columbus Day to Indigenous Peoples Day in the town of Bridgewater. And on that note, I will read the land acknowledgement. I humbly ask you to acknowledge the Wampanoag peoples upon whose land we now stand, and to think about what that means and what you know about this history and place. The time has come to reckon with the history that we are a nation built by stolen bodies on stolen land. Wherever you are and wherever you go, it is your responsibility to find out whose lands you are on and acknowledge that space and the people. In those spaces, you will find reminders in the names of rivers, streets, trails, or public areas. As current occupiers, this is an invitation for you to find out what the names of these places mean in indigenous languages and their histories. Land has meaning. Wampanoag and other indigenous people of this area have been here for millennia, living as caregivers of these lands, long before the 1620 landing of the Pilgrims, long before Columbus. Despite the many attempts at erasure, indigenous people are still here. As beings living on these indigenous lands, it is our responsibility to know a more accurate history, to honor and incorporate indigenous knowledge into our lives, and to understand the meaning of land as our relative, not as a commodity. A land acknowledgement should not be taken lightly, but as an act of disruption in order to undo Indigenous erasure. A land acknowledgement urges us to be accountable to undo colonial practices that stand in the way of true equity for all. Thank you.
I would like to take a moment to thank BCCR for coordinating this event today. For those of you who don't know, BCCR stands for Bridgewater Communities for Civil Rights. We are a local nonprofit organization, and if you'd like to learn more about BCCR's mission, activities, or would like to donate, I invite you to visit our table right behind me after today's event, where you can scan the QR code on the program. Thank you to our town officials for your unwavering support in joining us today. And I also want to thank David Wilson and Jeff Fowler for the audio and visual setup, and the team at BTV for documenting today's ceremony. We have a few local organizations with us today that I would like to recognize. Emily and Chase from BAMSI are here, sitting right there. Wave to everyone. They had their first annual BAMSI Pride, what was that, Saturday? And it was a huge success, so thank you for being here. What BAMSI does is, for the LGBTQ community, they help to elevate voices and do tons of support and programming. Also, Lisa and Nicole from the B community are here with the team as well, and give it up for B, all right. They are a local nonprofit group that is building an inclusive and diverse community of acceptance where individuals are celebrated, supported, and free to be their authentic selves. And they do this through several community events and support groups. And finally, one of the most amazing photographers that I know, Alexis from Alexis Marie Photography and Designs, is over there in the pink tank top. Alexis is documenting the ceremony today, and she is an award-winning real estate, portrait, and commercial photographer. Thank you so much for all your support and for being here. I would like to now invite the Vice President of our Town Council, Paul Murphy, to say a few words and read the unanimously approved town resolution in recognition of Pride Month. Mr. Murphy.
Good afternoon, everybody. Today we stand on the cusp of history in our beloved hometown. As your counselor and a member of this vibrant community, it is my honor to welcome you to this annual occasion, the rising of the Pride flag. This flag, with its vibrant colors, represents so much more than just a symbol. It stands for unity, equality, and above all, love. It is a beacon of hope for those who have ever felt marginalized or silenced because of who they are or whom they love. As we gather here today, we celebrate not only the progress that we've made, but also reaffirm our commitment to continue to striving for a future where everybody is treated with dignity and respect, regardless of their sexual orientation or gender identity. In rising this flag, we send a powerful message to the world that our community is one of inclusivity and acceptance. We stand shoulder to shoulder with the LGBTQ plus friends, family members, and neighbors, affirming their right to live openly and authentically without fear of discrimination or prejudice. But let us also remember that our work is far from over. While we have come a long way, there is still much to be done to ensure full equality for all. We must continue to challenge injustice wherever we find and advocate for policies that protect the rights of LGBTQ plus individuals in our schools, workplaces, and communities. Today, as we witness the rainbow flag flying against the backdrop of the Academy building, let it serve as a reminder of the beauty that lies in diversity and the strength that comes from standing together as one community, united in shared humanity. So let us raise our voices in celebration, not just for this moment, but for the journey that lies ahead. Together, we can build a future where every person, regardless of who they are or whom they love, can thrive and flourish. Thank you. I'll now read petition P 2024-020, a resolution in recognition of Pride Month. Whereas since 2016, the town of Bridgewater and its members of the Bridgewater Community for Civil Rights have worked together to create a welcoming community, supportive of equality based on tradition of equal rights and equal protection for all. And whereas since 2021, the elected leaders of the town of Bridgewater demonstrated their support of an often marginalized and persecuted community, the LGBTQ plus community, by issuing resolutions declaring Bridgewater to be a safe haven where all people, regardless of their religion, ethnicity, sexual orientation, or gender identity, can live in peace, free from hatred and violence. And whereas furthermore, since 2021, the town council members demonstrated their leadership in supporting the rising of the pride flag in front of the Academy building, the seat of town government. Many people attended the flag raisings and celebration in support of family, friends, and community. And whereas, while Bridgewater may proudly claim support for the members of the LGBTQ plus community, we are witnessing hostile acts in some states restricting the rights of transgender children to participate in education, sports, and needed medical care. And whereas we are witnessing the increased deadly violence against members of the LGBTQ plus community throughout the country. And whereas our friends, family members, and neighbors remain vulnerable to increased levels of hatred, rhetoric directed at minority communities across the country. Be it further resolved that the Bridgewater Town Council once again, unanimously, as David said, proclaims that the pride flag to be flown with the United States flag in front of the Academy building in the town of Bridgewater from June 3rd to June 16th, 2024. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Mr. Murphy. Could we have asked for a more beautiful Monday? Maybe a little bit shadier in the center? All right, I would like to again, before we get this flag up, I'd like to again introduce Lisa and Nicole from B, who are not only the founders of that local nonprofit, but also have been performing music together for over 15 years. Their band is called Montello North, and they play locally all over the South Shore area. Please join me in welcoming Lisa and Nicole.
You shout it out, but I can't hear a word you say. You're talking loud, not saying much. I'm criticized, but all your bullets ricochet. You cut me down, but I get up. I'm bulletproof, nothing to lose. Fire away, ricochet. You take your aim. Fire away, yeah, yeah. Fire away, yeah, yeah. I am titanium. You cut me down, but it's you who have further to fall. Ghost town, haunted love. Raise your voice. Sticks and stones may break my bones. You're talking loud, not saying much. I'm bulletproof, nothing to lose. Fire away, fire away. Ricochet, you take your aim. Fire away, fire away. You cut me down, but I won't fall. I am titanium. You cut me down, but I won't fall. I am titanium. Stone heart, machine gun, firing at the ones who run. Stone heart, this bulletproof glass. Stone heart, machine gun, firing at the ones who run. Stone heart, this bulletproof glass. You shoot me down, but I won't fall. Fire away, fire away. Shoot me down, but I won't fall. I am titanium. I am titanium.
Thank you, Lisa and Nicole. Amazing song and performance. All right, give it up. Yeah. Amazing, amazing. You can learn more about them and their band at montellonorth.com. All right, are you ready to raise this flag? I don't know. Are you sure? Are you ready to raise this flag? All right. At this time, I invite you to stand if you're able, as our town's facilities manager, Chris Hartman, will raise the flag. Take it away, Chris. All right. Thank you, Chris. You may be seated. Today, we gather to celebrate an event that is much more than just the raising of a flag. It is a powerful symbol of love, acceptance, and unity. This flag represents a tapestry of lives, stories, and journeys, each unique, yet woven together by a common thread of courage and pride. As we watch the flag ascend, we are reminded of the beauty found in our diversity and strength we draw from our unity. Pride is more than just a celebration of identity, it's a celebration of humanity. It is a beacon of hope for those who are still finding their way. It is a testament to the progress we have made and a reminder of the work that remains. Every step we take towards equality is a step towards a brighter, more inclusive future. To my LGBTQ community, your presence here today is a declaration of your strength and resilience. You are the heart of this celebration. Your courage to live authentically inspires us all. You remind us that love knows no boundaries and that being true to oneself is a profound act of bravery. To our allies, your support is invaluable. You stand with us, not out of obligation, but out of a genuine belief in equality and justice. Your solidarity amplifies our voices and strengthens our resolve. You prove that together we are stronger. Let us use this moment to reaffirm our commitment to a world where everyone, regardless of who they are or whom they love, feels seen, heard, and valued. Let us pledge to continue supporting one another, to speak out against injustice, and to foster environments where everyone can thrive. As we raise this flag, let's also raise our voices in celebration, our hands in support, and our hearts in love. Let this flag remind us of our shared humanity and our shared responsibility to uplift and protect one another. Thank you for being here, for standing together, and for making this a day of joy, solidarity, and pride. Together, we create a world that celebrates diversity, champions equality, and cherishes love in all its beautiful forms. Happy Pride, y'all. So we have some great speakers today that I would like to introduce. Our first two speakers are going to come up together, Quinn Daley and Kayla Defino. They are both members of the Gender and Sexuality Alliance at Bridgewater Rainham Regional High School. So come on up.
Hello everyone, my name is Quinn Daley. I use he, him pronouns, and I'm a proud member of the Bridgewater Rainham Regional High School Gender Sexuality Alliance. I am a junior and I have been a member of GSA for 3 years now, and this year I serve as the publicist. I spoke last year about the importance of GSA in schools, but this year I wanted to talk about supporting the mental health of LGBTQIA+ students. Whether it is at school, at home, or in any public place, the mental health of young LGBTQ students needs to be valued and respected, so the space that they inhabit is safe for each person to be themselves. Identifying within the community does not cause the mental health problems, but the rejection, bullying, discrimination, and violence due to being in the community does. This is why schools and families must do their part to stop all oppression against teenagers so that their mental health remains strong and positive. When one suffers from a mental health related issue, it is crucial to connect them with the healthcare and help that respects their gender identity and sexual orientation. Support is the most important thing that students rely on when something is negatively affecting their mental health, because an adult that can help them through is the one that will make a big difference for them. Another way that students can get through their struggles in mental health is by having LGBTQIA+ role models in the media that can represent different interests one may have on streaming platforms, social media, music, sports, and more. Also, relating to GSA, having one where you can outwardly express your thoughts without restriction can allow for LGBTQ students to feel seen, heard, valued, and respected within their school so that they can feel a strong sense of belonging, support, and communication with others. I have been honored to be asked to speak here again another year in a row, and I hope what I had to say to you today on the importance of supporting the mental health of LGBTQIA+ students has moved you to continue to be supportive and respect the valuable people of our community. It is wonderful to live in a community where the pride flag is raised because it shows the support that our town has to make sure that the LGBTQ people feel recognized for the identities that they are so proud of and live by each day. Thank you.
Hello, I'm Kayla, a sophomore at Bridgewater Rainham Regional High School, and I want to start my speech by asking everyone some questions. Please raise your hand if you've ever been told your gender identity or sexual orientation was just a phase. Please keep them raised. Now please raise your hand if you've ever been told that your gender identity or sexual orientation was made up or heard someone say that your identity was made up. If your hand is raised, please keep it raised if the statement was heard from a family member or someone close to you. You can put them down. According to the Trevor Project, which is an organization that focuses on LGBTQ+ youth, in 2023, 45% of LGBTQ youth considered attempting suicide, although the rate was reduced by more than half in those who had supported families or communities. The impact that raising a pride flag has on LGBTQ youth is tremendous. Being here today means more than just an hour or so out of your day. Knowing that your own community accepts you is a simple fact that could change someone's life. Before I end, I want everyone to know that BRSGSA is always proud that Bridgewater is such an accepting town, and we all hope that everyone has an amazing Pride Month. Thank you.
Our next speaker is a Bridgewater resident, Shyla Smeed.
Hi. Bear with me, it's my first time doing this. First, I'd like to thank BCCR, David, Michael, and everyone else who were involved in this opportunity and for making this event possible. Events like these are so important. And my name is Shyla, in case you didn't hear it, and my pronouns are they, them. I am a proud non-binary pansexual and want to tell you what pride means to me. I proudly live every single day as my authentic, unapologetic self in a world that tries to demonize and erase me on the daily. I proudly stand for my community, no matter the risk, to help pave the way for the future. From realizing I was different at a younger age, to being forced to come out on others' terms, to realizing it isn't about anyone else's journey but my own. Coming out as non-binary 3 years ago, later in life, to my partner of 20 plus years, was one of the scariest parts of my life, but also life-saving. I'm privileged in the sense because I have an amazing partner that responded with, "What do you need?" and "Let's grow together." Where most people would have left. See, I'm privileged to be in what society has deemed a passing relationship. I truly hope that these passing societal norms on relationships, gender, and sexuality disappear, and I am around to bear witness. Because with outward pride in today's climate comes with a target on your back, your partner's back, and anyone else in your life. From your existence being ignored and not acknowledged at all, having to wait 2 hours for a glass of water in a restaurant, to being verbally harassed or more. My hopes is to live in a world where we're all just looked at as human. That would so add to my sense of pride, knowing that I had a hand in that. But until then, I will be proud to just show up on the daily, redefining the norm and pushing societal boundaries so that the norm is purely existing as one's authentic self and living life just to be happy. Pride Month isn't just about rainbows and glitter, although don't get me wrong, it's a giant bonus, since it helps everyone embrace their fabulosity. Pride Month is an act of resiliency, strength, and resistance. It started as a riot. It's a chance for our community to come together openly, to stand tall and say we are here, we are strong, and we are not going anywhere. We are one voice, we are unstoppable, and together we can do anything. So let's change the world as one community with true allies by our side, and let's go down in history and never be forgotten.
Our next speaker is also a Bridgewater resident, J Verhoosky.
Hello, my name is J Verhoosky, and I use they, she pronouns. When I was asked what pride means to me, I had to stop and think of how it made me feel. The history, the struggles, the hope, my identity, and what the future holds for everyone. I had to break it down into moments that I could process and take away the meaning, the feeling, and the impact from. I stopped and thought about all who came before me, the battles fought, the struggles to fight for equality, or even the simple ability to be proud of who we are. The ability to walk down the street with my partner, hand in hand, and experience the simple pleasures that so many take for granted every single day. The ability to express who I am, my gender identity, and feel authentic to myself with less fears than what my elders experienced. The hope and thought, and hope through continued efforts, struggles, celebrations, legislation, education, and resources, that it can continue to get better for everyone who comes after me. The young people will have the ability to live authentically their entire lives, free of guilt and simply allowing themselves to be. I then took a minute to revel in the celebratory moments, because sometimes, as other people have mentioned, it's great. A lot of the times, it can be great. As we mentioned, sometimes it's rainbows and glitter, sometimes it's unicorns, other times it's a riot, and you have to fight for that. But those celebratory moments that people fought for that we can have are so important. As somebody who also came out later in life and didn't have a great experience with that, now I get to celebrate that. And I've had moments where I felt accepted by my community, celebrated for who I am, and had pure joy. And those things are so, so important. These moments have given me a reason to find friends that are amazing friends, people that I call family now, my chosen family. A community that's formed safe havens in things that make me feel good. I reflected on finding places that not only accept me, but celebrate me. I remember the moment that I worked up the courage to attend that first event and the sheer joy that it brought me after the fear of even getting out of my car and walking there. In the end, I reflected the fact that what pride means to me is the ability to be unapologetically authentic to yourself, to create the space for others to do the same, and to feel joy, to feel the simple pleasures of being comfortable for being who you are, celebrated as an individual, a community, and an identity. To come together to feel the power of community and acceptance that is so often taken for granted in the day-to-day, and to live a life that is truly who you are. Thank you.
Thank you, Jay. All right, our final speaker today is Carolyn Taggart. Carolyn is the director of the Pride Center at Bridgewater State University. Carolyn, come on up.
Hello, good afternoon and happy Pride Month. My name is Carolyn Taggart. I use she and they pronouns. I'm the director of the Pride Center here at Bridgewater State University. And I want to say thank you to BCCR for organizing this event and for the good work that you do throughout the year to benefit our community. I stand before you all today with what I would call cautious optimism. I had the pleasure this weekend of representing BSU at 2 local Pride events, and it is incredible to witness the growth in these Prides year after year, seeing more people come out to these celebrations, seeing families, and seeing folks have the opportunity to be their full selves unapologetically. At Bridgewater State, we continue to see more and more of our students openly identifying as LGBTQIA+. When I started there in 2021, approximately 11% of our students openly identified as LGBTQIA+, and in just under 3 years, that number stands around 16% and growing. But as Massachusetts continues to push forward and be a national leader in efforts around diversity, equity, and inclusion, other states are criminalizing such progress. This spring, through a partnership with GC2B, the BSU Pride Center was able to offer free chest binders to students so that their outward appearance better matches their gender identity, and through that program 30 students received at least one of these gender affirming garments. One of the students who received a free chest binder let us know that as a student who is from a southern state where their governor has outlawed state universities from being able to have a Pride Center on their campus, the privilege of being able to have a resource such as a Pride Center to welcome and affirm them when their friends back home have nothing of the sort was not lost on them. As of today, there are 6 states who have passed such legislation to ban state universities, from having any DEI offices, with similar legislation currently proposed in 8 other states. But I still remain cautiously optimistic. According to the LGBTQ+ Victory Institute, we have more LGBTQIA+ elected officials, 1,294 nationwide, and 55 right here in the great state of Massachusetts, and that's more than ever before in history. These anti-DEI laws and anti-LGBTQIA+ laws, and laws that particularly negatively impact transgender folks, are being decided on and introduced by elected officials. Those who would see our rights stripped away and force us back into closets need to be voted out of office or never be voted into office in the first place. It is on each of us who is able to vote in November to make our voices heard. and it is on all of us to encourage our friends and family nationwide to vote for candidates who support us and will not vote against our rights. As we honor those who fought before us and paved the way for us to celebrate the anniversary of the Stonewall riots with pride events throughout this month and beyond, we must continue to show up, to fight, to vote, and to make our voices heard and counted even when it is not easy. We need our allies now as much as ever, and together we can continue bending the arc of the moral universe towards justice. Your presence here today, this flag-raising ceremony in the center of Bridgewater, shows that we are here, we are your friends and neighbors, and we will continue to fight for equity for all of our citizens. That is what pride means to me. Thank you all, and happy Pride.
Thank you to all our speakers today for sharing your thoughts and stories. Your bravery and courage is truly inspiring. The Pride flag will be flying here until June 17th, and then at that time we'll be having a similar ceremony as we raise the Juneteenth flag. So please come on out and show your support again. Also, I'd like to let everyone know that the director of our senior center in Bridgewater is here, Emily Williams. Where's Emily? Is she still here? Okay. Anyway, I wanted to announce that there's a Pride luncheon this Thursday at noon at the Senior Center. All seniors are welcome. The first Juneteenth celebration, event I should say, is a gospel event at the First Parish UU Church on the 16th from 2 to 4. And you can check the BCCR website for more details. And that concludes our program today. So I hope everyone enjoyed it. Thanks for coming out, and happy Pride.